think it's on. All right. So while we're waiting for confirmation from people that you guys can hear our audio, all that kind of stuff, I want to remind you, go to hankstrange.com. Very important. Sign up for the email list. This is how we're keeping in touch with everyone with all the things going on. Also, check out Lola's Deals. You can go through Hank Strange, or you can go to lolasdeals.com. There's daily deals there if you're looking for the stuff that Lola posts up daily to help you all save money. We've got promo codes. We've got stuff from Fort Scott Sportsman's Guide up there. All those good things. Also links to the merch store, which is on Ballistic Ink. Very important if you want to help support the situation over here to do all of this. I also want to thank Harry's Holsters for sponsoring the show. Harry's Holsters is awesome. You could use the code HankStrange. That gets you 10% off at Harry's Holsters. All right, I think that's pretty much it. We're going to get into some other stuff here in a second, but let me press the button. Open the show. There we go.
Strange situation.
Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell so you could be notified on every time we go live, which we are right now. Can I see your jazz hands? Can I see jazz hands? Shane, I know you remember the jazz hands. There we go. I hope you got your big girl panties on because we are live. This is episode 574. A nice number.
Wow. Yeah, man.
Nice
Very
number.
Cool.
Yes, I think we had Shane, the late Boy Scout, on. I don't even remember what episode. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look that up. See, the last time we had him on, it was probably...
It was quite a while ago.
Was it 100 and something? I don't know. We don't have you on enough. I
don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, we don't have you on enough, man. We don't. We need to do that more.
That's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah, because you're so busy, you know. We got you locked down right now because of the COVID-19 situation. So you got no excuses.
Nowhere else to be.
Right. So my guest tonight, like I said, Shane, the late Boy Scout, he's here. He's on YouTube. If you guys don't know about him, you better get up on that YouTubes and subscribe to the late Boy Scout. We also have Babyface P, which you need to get up on there and subscribe to the BFP as well.
I'm building slowly.
Yes, that's awesome. That's what we all started at 0, right, Shane?
Trying to remember, but yeah, I believe it was 0. I started off with 0 subscribers. Yeah.
What, you had some built-in subscribers I didn't know about, maybe? Yeah.
I don't think that's a feature yet. No, yeah, I think everybody starts at 0.
Yeah, I mean, he's in Utah, so, you never know. Utah.
You never know.
Yeah.
That's right. Do things differently here.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so like I said, Shane's here. Shane, what's up, man? Long time. I can't remember the last time I even saw you. What was it, SHOT Show?
It might have been a SHOT Show. It might have been. But definitely it's been way too long. So it's real good to see you again, man.
Yeah.
Good to talk to you.
Same here, man. Your background's awesome. Looks like you're in some kind of music studio. Do you also do hip-hop in there?
No hip-hop. Not really. Yeah. I did play music years ago. I think we talked about that.
Yeah. You're a rock and roll.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, I've heard I've heard your stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So I played in bands years, like way before I was married or had kids. And, I've sort of gotten, excited about just playing music for the fun of it again, even though I'm still no good. Mm-hmm. But it was always my thing where I wanted to not just play some music and get good, but I wanted to be in a group and I wanted to perform and I wanted to write music and all that stuff. And I realized that there's so much stress attached to all those things that the real joy is going to come from just enjoying picking up an instrument and playing around on it. And so that's something I've gotten a little bit more into lately. Still no good, but I definitely enjoy kind of picking up guitars and picking up instruments now and again. Yeah. And this is not necessarily related to that, but it is partly. I just decided to sort of break down and try to make a good space for doing some quality recording. And so if you're curious about this, sort of the way my studio works, I've got some musical instruments in here, but I've also got this wall where what I would normally do is I have my tabletop backed up to that wall, some lights going down to the tabletop for doing my night review or whatever it may be. And it has really cut down on the echo and the sort of the bleed and the bad sounds that come from trying to make audio work.
Yeah.
And this definitely is effective. So it was a good investment just for making the videos a little bit better. I think it does kind of look cool, but yeah, it's primarily to just sort of help this room be a better acoustic space for doing some of the things I do.
Yeah. Did you actually have to? I've used this acoustic foam before. Did you have to use lots of glue to get that up on the walls?
I'll tell you a little secret. I didn't use a single drop of glue. What I did was I used really small brads, little nails, and I just very, very carefully just tacked every single piece into the wall. And so there's a lot of tiny little holes in the wall, but they seem to be doing the job with keeping it up there. I did find, since the wall behind it is actually not painted black or dark or anything like that, I did find that there were little bitty cracks between each piece of foam that came through as white. And I actually kind of went through that with a bunch of gaffer's tape and just tried to clean it up so it looked a little better, but that has no acoustic effect. But no, I did not have to do any gluing. I have heard people say that, lots of different glues, some glues just don't work. They just don't hold them up.
Yeah.
And so you have to be real careful about what you use to actually adhere these to something. And some folks will do, they'll get a big sheet of cardboard and then they'll glue them to the cardboard and then they'll pin or tack the cardboard to the wall, which does make a ton of sense because, you're not worried about all these individual pieces. You're worried about big sheets of pieces. You know what I mean? And it does seem to make more sense as far as the durability and the longer lasting.
Yeah. If you're, this is going to fall in the category of only the guys who are into music and audio and stuff like that
that is very true.
Will enjoy it, which I do. Like I've had studios everywhere. The acoustic foam is always a big deal. I don't know if I have any of my acoustic foam left. I had some like purple acoustic foam. I don't know. I think Lola wound up selling that or something at some point. I'm trying to, or it's in one of the sheds somewhere, being eaten and used to make nests and stuff like that for my squirrels. So let's see here. Okay, so shout out to everyone who's joining us in the chat. Smash those thumbs ups. Let us know if you guys have questions. We'll get into stuff. Babyface, what's up with you? I think I haven't seen you in like at least 24 hours.
At most 24 hours?
Yeah.
When was I on last? What's today? Thursday? I was on Monday.
No,
not
Tuesday,
much.
Tuesday. There was no
Oh,
Monday.
that's right. I was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Not much has changed since then. The weather here in Florida is sucking, but
yeah,
we get used to it.
Yeah. It's too bad too because that whole SpaceX launch. You guys, I'm assuming we're all nerds right now. I'm pretty sure
they were supposed to launch some actual people at this time, right?
Yeah, they were supposed to launch yesterday. SpaceX.
Did it not happen?
No, the rain. So,
yeah, it's been off and on storming, and it's been crazy off and on storming. Where like yesterday, I don't know if you had any time with your windows open, but yesterday it went from like bright sunny to like thunderstorms to bright sunny to thunderstorms like twice in a day. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's a problem. I was actually looking at the whole launch thing, and they scrubbed it and everything, and it was really interesting to me. I'm into space, and SpaceX is like, this is going to be, if they can make this, I think it's going Saturday now. I don't know about the weather.
If you had the ability, would you go to space?
Me personally.
Like if somebody was like, hey, we'll stick you in a spacesuit and send you up to space for a week, would you do it?
Yeah, I would do it. What about you, Shane?
Would you really?
I would go.
I'd have to say yes. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah, definitely.
I would go. You know, how can I then? If I turn down that opportunity, I am not allowed to be sci-fi anymore.
That's right, man. Turn in your card.
Yeah.
Turn it in.
And it looks
You're not a geek anymore.
Yeah, I encourage everyone to look at this now. Like I was looking at the live stuff when they literally took them out of the pod, and it's still a small space, but the spacesuits are smaller, lighter. It's not like it used to be. It's it's on another level.
They look so futuristic now. Like they look like modern futuristic.
Yeah, we're getting ready for Space Force. Space Force is gonna happen. Why are you guys laughing? It's a thing.
So what does Trump know that we don't, and why did he make the Space Force? That's all I'm saying.
Space Force is awesome.
Well,
go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be like the James Bond movie Moonraker.
No.
But I kind of wish it were. I wish it was like that. I wish we could look up to the sky and go, there's a fight going on up there right now, and it's lasers, and it's awesome. I wish we could say that, but we'll never be able to say that. I don't think it's ever going to be that way. I've read things and I've heard people talk about Space Force and what its purpose is, and it actually makes a lot of sense. If it's just going to be, a focused group or force for, I guess, sort of protecting our interests in space, and there's a lot of satellites up there, and a lot of, I guess, defensive, advantages to sort of controlling that area. So it does make a lot of sense to have some, group, a force that's dedicated to that, whatever that looks like.
I think we have like tactical advantage anywhere in the world because of our like satellite systems.
Yeah.
Like the guys on the ground literally now have like panels that they can be like, oh, okay, this is where we're going. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And we're going to lose a tactical advantage if we don't at least occupy the moon. If we let China occupy the moon, we're done. Okay, I'm not joking. This is for real.
I mean, really, they could screw with our satellites. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. They could set up.
We also need a big laser cannon up there.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way.
At some point.
There's no way in hell we can let China go there and set up lasers and stuff like that on the moon.
Is there
and start sniping
is there any
us?
rules? Are there any rules about because there's like rules about Antarctica where it's like no country can go and claim Antarctica. It's like for research only. Are there rules like that about the moon where it's like no, you can't own the moon. Nobody owns the moon.
Oh no, we're gonna own the moon.
Well, the U.S. is gonna own
the moon. The moon belongs to America. We already put a flag on that
flag
biatch.
Up there, man.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's ours. Okay, that belongs to us. We have to go up there and claim it before China or India or someone else lands up there, and then it's gonna be like a whole thing. Alaskan Ballistics, gave us $2 here. He says from Alaskan Ballistics. If I could say it properly. I don't know. I've got like Alaskan Ballistics Tourette's or something like that going on. Shout out to everyone. I saw Wheeled and Well Armed is here in the chat. It looks like, the symbol is a guy in a wheelchair with a gun. So shout out to that person. I'm not sure. Do you guys know who that is? Wheeled and Well Armed?
I do not.
Oh, okay. We got to look into that.
Not off the top of my head.
Kathleen Music Lover wants to know, Late Boy Scout, what's your favorite pistol? That's like the hardest question to answer ever, but
that is the hardest question to answer ever. And I was informed that the rules in regards to this live stream say that I cannot show you the pistol that I'm excited about right now.
Don't even look at anything if there's anything around you. Don't.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep your fingers.
I'm looking away. I'm just looking at my phone. I promise. So I'm looking at my phone not because I'm bored with you guys, but because I have on here a picture, and I'm told that we can show pictures or videos on our phones.
Yes.
So give me a second. I have something on here. Here it is.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second. I gotta scroll backwards and make this work. I don't know how to make my phone work. That it? Yeah.
Boom. Is that your okay.
I've had this thought in my head where I'm like, I need a classy suit gun. I really, really need a classy suit gun, and that's it. That's like the epitome of classy suit gun.
Yeah, now this is the PPK. It's not the PPKS. So you guys know the difference?
No.
Between the PPK and PPKS? Okay, so there's a lot of folks say the PPKS is just the PPK sport, but there's kind of more to it than that. And I can't give you the history very cleanly, at least not from memory, but it has more to do with like imports way back in the day and how, what they were able to legally bring into the United States and so forth. And I think that Walther actually created the PPKS for import purposes because they couldn't bring the standard PPK in. And I think guys, if anybody's in the comment section that can correct me on the history, I think that's the reason why.
I'm rocking the Walther shirt, but I have no clue.
Yeah.
Someone can let me know.
I think that's the reason. I think that's the reason why the the standard PPK and also the PPKS were built in the United States by like Inter Arms and Smith and Wesson for a while. I think part of it is because Walther, based in Germany, couldn't build guns because of like World War II packs and stuff like that. And
that
so
makes
it
sense.
was outsourced to somebody in France, and then it became built in the United States for a while. But it's only recently come back into Walther's hands again, and they're in the United States at this point with a factory here, as you know. And so
for anybody that's watching, we also, if you guys aren't aware, we have some like really, really crazy archaic point system for what can be imported. That's why like the Glock 24 and 25 have never been imported. It's because they don't follow that like stupid point system.
Right,
like
it's weird.
Caliber and size. Like there's this whole thing about what can and can't be imported.
And I think that the PPK-S and PPK got caught up in that a little bit. So the PPK-S, the short version of it is PPK-S has one more round, slightly longer grip frame. And the PPK obviously down one round and has a slightly shorter grip frame. And so that was the one that I have always wanted, the PPK, not the PPK-S. And I've shot the PPK-S plenty of times. That's cool. But just having that shorter grip that just is that much more concealable and that much more similar to what James Bond carried.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's somehow.
So, he's based in Europe, so none of these import laws affected him. So he had whatever he wanted, right? And so he had the one with the shorter grip frame, and it was much, the PPK, especially the one now built by Walther again, is so much closer to what they had in those stories and in those movies. And so it's just that much cooler because of that. Now, the only problem with the one that I have is that it's stainless steel, whereas the one James Bond always carried was blued.
Okay.
So
that's what I was going to say. I thought the S had to do with it being stainless steel.
Nope. Nothing to do with that. No, it comes in stainless and blued. Both of them do. So the blued one would be a little bit closer. Well, it would be that much closer to being authentic because of its color. And its finish, but the stainless
closer to the James Bond, because James Bond he didn't rock the stainless ever, did he?
Never in any of the movies that I saw, and I was keeping a close eye on that.
Oh, okay.
I actually went through a lot of the Bond movies during this quarantine thing, where I'd be like working from home, and so I'm listening to or watching something on another screen, and I got through a number of Bond movies, and the movies are kind of weird because he was always stated that he carried this particular gun, but then in different scenes, depending on what the character needed to do, they would swap out his gun.
Yeah.
And so it might change to something that looked kind of similar or something that would fit a silencer or whatever, but they would swap out his gun depending on the scene.
Yeah, a lot of HKs.
And
Glocks,
different things.
Different
things. And so he some of those older films, again, it was the standard blued PPK, and that was his thing. So
I think the stainless is probably hard to find now. Like I think there's a high demand for them for some reason when I speak to the Walther guys. Yeah.
They're also fairly expensive pistols. Like they're not cheap guns.
Not at all. Yeah, this one, the one I've got, it's like $650, $700 or something like that. They're not cheap guns, and it makes no sense at all to spend that much money on a 380.
Yeah, exactly.
Except nostalgia, and it's a good 380. It's a good 380, by the way. I've shot them. They're good guns. Yeah.
They're great, solid guns, but they make no sense for concealed carry these days. No sense at all.
Because they're not. It's not light.
It's not lightweight. It only holds 6 rounds. I mean, you could instead carry a Shield EZ, which has more rounds. It's still, I think, might be lighter than the PPK.
And Walther has what is it? The PPS? Walther has a 380 that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. So
probably more slim and just kind of more akin to what people build out of 380s today. Like LCP, LCP2, and so forth.
Does it have the soul of a PPK?
No,
it's not.
Nothing does.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that's got the soul of a PPK is probably a Makarov. The Makarovs they're related, I believe, as far as like the design, but they come apart very similarly. So I feel pretty safe in saying that. And I would say that either one of those two guns, they both have a lot of that soul. A lot of that old timey European sort of feel to them. But if you're really into the movies, then obviously the PPK is your choice.
Yeah, Absolutely. I think that's a big part of everything that people do. You know, you got to give some kind of credit to that. Scorched Earth Firearms gave us $2 here. He says, big fan of the late Boy Scout. Love his videos.
Thank you.
He's basically like smooth jazz in the desert. No, I'm adding that. I'm making that one up. I'm making that one up because I'm just teasing.
I'm just teasing. Go with that, dude. I like that.
You like that? Oh, okay.
Go with that.
I'm just teasing. I'm teasing Scorched Earth here and Rod Mills and Babyface because he said that about Babyface and now I can't get that out of my brain. He said Babyface is like smooth jazz on the beach or something.
Hank has problems with the guy love. He can't handle two men just being nice with each other.
No, hey, I'm okay. I'm not judgy. You know, to each his own. You know, I'm a libertarian.
Smooth jazz in the desert. It's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
You can totally have that one. So Wield and Weld Arms said, I sometimes carry a Walther CCP, nice blowback, 9mm and accurate too. So I'm assuming that Wield and Weld Arm is in a wheelchair, which is interesting to me for this reason. I know we didn't even plan this. I didn't know this. But did you guys hear about the dude who robbed, like, I think it was a jewelry store. Let me see if I can find this and throw it.
Yes, I watched the video. I know exactly what you're going to say. Was it the one with the tow gun?
Yes.
He used his feet to try to rob a jewelry store?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I watched that video on 4chan, I think. It was just like...
What is happening? Yeah, man.
Like, I'm sitting there like, do you realize the cops don't have to look far to figure out who did this?
Yeah, man in wheelchair. I would like to know what Wield and Well Arm thinks about this. Man in wheelchair holds up jewelry store while pointing a gun with his feet.
With his feet. And the craziest thing is,
and there's
did
video.
You watch the video?
Yes, I'm playing the video right now. I'm sorry. This is amazing. He had an accomplice, but he's doing everything with his feet with this gun.
The way he uses his feet is incredible. It looks like toe hands. It is crazy.
Yeah.
That guy's dedicated.
Yeah.
No.
So.
And is he wearing a Corona mask? It looks like he's wearing a Corona mask.
They're being safe. Yeah. They're being safe while they're doing this, Shane.
Oh,
following all the COVID-19 rules.
I guess this whole thing is given a lot of advantages to people who want to conceal their identity, right?
Right. So, now, they're not 100% being safe because his buddy is in front of that muzzle, but yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're... So,
and also he's shooting with his feet.
So I would like to know what Wield and Weld Arm thinks about this, but also I would like to know from you guys, which one of you guys would chance it? Because you go like, wait a second, I think I could be faster than this guy with his feet. Would you would you chance it if you were the guy in the jewelry store, you had your sidearm on you, but you obviously didn't have, would you try to go for your draw even though he obviously already has the drop on you with his feet? Would you your brain think, oh, I think I could
that
do this?
That dude has like orangutan feet where they're like finger feet. I don't know if I would chance that. Like, he's got some like dexterous toes. I don't know about it.
Yeah.
If somebody has the dexterity in their toes and in their feet to hold a firearm and actually point it at me, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they also know how to pull the trigger.
Yes.
So I'm going to say no.
Yeah, that is not the way to die. Or even if you don't die, you don't want to be in the hospital. Like, look, I got shot by this dude who was holding the gun with his feet. Yeah,
the mask foot man.
Yeah, just let him take all the jewels. Whatever you want. Here's my car keys.
I can't believe you brought that up because I watched that with Marley the other night on 4chan and I was just like, what is going on? Are you serious?
I wasn't planning on bringing it up, but I saw Wield and Well Armed and I was like, we got an expert about being in a wheelchair here that could comment on this. Yeah. He just says that's crazy. That's his comment.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's right.
I'm going to call that crazy.
Yeah. Len Holt says, I would like to see that guy in the IDPA match.
Clink, 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 clink.
In order to have enough confidence to go rob a jewelry store.
Reloads.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be incredible.
You know he's got it figured out.
Yeah.
You know he's got it figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see how he pulls it off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Clover Tack is watching us. He says, sidestep, draw, done, I'd chance it.
He's
Clover
gonna
tackle
chance
tackle.
it. Well, yeah, you sidestep. He can't. He doesn't have the hands to turn.
Listen,
He's already got the gun.
you don't know this guy. If this guy has if he has the cojones, okay, to go into a jewelry store like this, he might be running 2-gun or 3-gun matches or something for all you know. Don't mess with this dude. Just give it up to him, like, dude. You know, just for the extra effort, whatever you want, man.
Well, so you gotta hand him a handful of jewels, right? And then he's got to find a way to take the jewels from you.
Yeah, that's your chance.
With 1 foot, that's your chance.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, there's gonna be jokes here. Brick says, if his gun jams, is that toe jam?
Oh God. Here's the real question. Did they get away with it? Did they leave the store with jewelry?
I never got that far in the story.
Cops are gonna find them like a block down the road.
I think they made arrest. They made arrest.
Yeah. Okay.
From what I've heard, I've seen something somewhere. It says, paralyzed deaf mute teen try to rob a jewelry shop in Brazil. No, that's a different thing. Is that the same thing?
I was gonna say what?
Wait, was this Brazil?
Yeah. Oh, of course it was Brazil. Did you see the video? Come on.
Whoa.
Wait. Oh, this was this. Yeah.
It was some.
This was Brazil. This was in Brazil. Oh. Okay. No, I didn't know this when I was talking about it. I definitely wouldn't mess with this guy. No, not in Brazil. If this was an American, I might go, okay. But in Brazil, no way.
Yeah. Right?
That's extra. That's third world crazy right there. You don't mess around like that. Yeah.
Hey, can I go to the chat? I got a guy that asked for, where is it? Let me find it.
Hey.
He asked what my favorite caliber was.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm missing the comment, but it's over there somewhere.
Oh, someone asked you about the... Okay.
Yeah, what's your favorite caliber? That's a pistol, I suppose. I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, long range, I really like 6.5 Creedmoor when I get a chance to shoot it. For concealed carry, I'd always rather have 9mm. It's the one that's going to be, I guess, the best balance of the number of rounds plus stopping power. But I must admit, I probably carry 380 more than anything else because that's the easiest to carry. Yeah. I mean, you can slip an LCP2 in your pocket, and no matter what you're dressed in, no matter where you're going, you can always have that. Okay. So I'd always rather have a 9mm, but to be honest, I'll probably have a 380 more often than not.
Okay. But, and your go-to 380 is the LCP2?
LCP2. That's the best one that I've ever shot. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as far as reliability, there's let's see, the Car CW380. I still own that one, but it performs terribly. It's horribly unreliable, so I don't carry it anymore. But it's got a fantastic trigger on it, and honestly, I would rather carry that one if I felt like it was reliable.
Yeah.
But the LCP2 has a good balance between being ergonomic enough, easy to hit stuff with, you know. A good round count, about 6, and I think can you get the extended mag for it? Can't remember, but 6+1 I believe it is. And it just carries so easily. So
okay,
that's typically what I'll carry.
Did you ever try the?
It's very dependent.
Okay. No, I was just curious of whether or not you ever if you ever carried the Glock 42. And then what would be the comparison? What do you think about the 42 if you did versus the LCP2?
Right. 42 is considerably larger. So it's around the same size as a lot of other 9mm at the time. Like, I think it was the, there's another car that I used to carry. The name's escaping me right now.
Not PM.
Yeah.
Was it the PM?
It was CM.
CM9.
CM9.
Oh, okay.
CM9. I carried that one for a long time. And the 42 dimensionally is almost exactly the same as the CM9. And I think it was pretty close for round count, but you're 380 instead of 9mm. So it's like, why have that same size gun in 380 if you can have it in 9mm? And so I was never all that interested in the 42, except for the fact that it shoots fantastic. It feels great to shoot. And I can kind of compare that to the new Shield EZ, not all that new at this point, the Shield EZ in 380, which just shoots like a dream. I mean, it feels wonderful to shoot. But it's, it's a bit on the large side. as far as 380s are concerned. So
Okay.
So yeah, I wouldn't really consider the Glock 42 because it's not anywhere near as pocketable as some of the really small 380s that have approximately the same round count and are just lighter and so much smaller. So.
Yeah. Shooting Gallery. Any wants to know. He gave us $2. He wants to know what's your opinion on the SIG 238.
The SIG 238. Let me think here.
If you have one there, don't even reach for it.
Hold on. I do not have one here.
Uh-huh.
I just want to make sure that I'm looking up the right. That's all right. That's what I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a fantastic 380. In fact, I think I've shot that one. I'm pretty sure I have. And that is, it's beautiful. It shoots fantastically. It conceals well. It's just almost almost double the price of something like the LCP. I think it's close to double or more than double of the LCP2. So as far as cost effectiveness, just buying the gun, it's way more expensive. So if you got the money, gosh, it is a really nice 380. And yeah, absolutely.
That was probably one of the more popular 380s before you started getting like the Glock 42 and everyone started getting into that space, right? The SIG.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that is true, and it's reliable as far as I recall, and it's just beautiful. It comes in a whole array, wide array of looks and sort of grips and finishes, as I recall. And it's a very attractive one. It's just up there in price. So if you're willing to spend the money, I mean, you could have like 2 LCPs for the price of that P238. So
yeah.
I've always I always really liked those guns, the 238 and the 938. I just could never swing that price. Like, they're pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. We got a bunch of things in here. Now everyone wants to talk about guns. What's wrong with you people? we were having fun talking about space and dudes holding up jewelry stores with their feet. But everyone wants to. No, I'm just messing with you guys. So let's see. I'm gonna go here. Carolina EDC review says Glock 42 was snappy for me, so G43 is my go-to now. Steve Dave says, is carrying 2 extra mags normal for most people? Only carry one. I feel like I need one more. I carry 1 extra. I don't know what it like. Yeah. I don't know who carries. What is Shane? Wait, does Shane freeze?
I'm unfrozen now.
I think. Yeah. So So extra magazines, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
The more you can handle, the better.
Yeah. Your pants will be on the ground. I don't care how good your belt is.
Yeah, that is true. Do what's practical. Do what you can do consistently, whatever that turns out to be. That's how I feel about it. So. As for me, yes, I love to have 2, 3 more extra magazines. I tend to carry 1 extra magazine. I have my gun fully loaded with one in the chamber, and then I have the extra magazine ready to go. And where possible, I have a higher capacity extra magazine. Yeah. But I typically will not carry more than that because I know that I can't consistently do it through all the different places I go, the way I dress, and so forth. So carry as many as you can, but do what you can do consistently.
Yeah, whatever works in your particular system based on, just whatever works for you, how big you are, what you wear, how you carry things, are you a pocket carry or, use a holster, where is that holster, all that kind of stuff I think is probably what's going to come into play. I mean, I'm pretty sure we could show that. So I've usually got there's my backup magazine, and I think this is probably 8 or something like that with the plate, if I'm remembering that correctly. Probably. So, yeah. And then I always carry, so in my backpack, I actually have the full conceal folding Glock in there with 33 rounds. Always, that's, if all of a sudden the apocalypse hits me out of nowhere, at least I have that on me. And I'm sure some people have like a pistol caliber carbine on them, something like that, right? Maybe your Kel-Tec Sub 2000 or whatever else is their like secondary thing.
Right. I definitely have a system where I have, what I'll keep on myself, and then I'll have an extended EDC in a backpack, but then I'll have even more than that typically in my car or whatever vehicle I happen to be with. So I always have sort of layers, and it's never just me and what I've got on myself.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have like a backup gun typically on you? Like maybe a little airlight revolver, or some people have like the little Derringers, or
Right.
Does either one of you go that route, or just the one?
No, not typically.
Okay.
I just as soon carry extra magazines than have the extra gun.
Yeah.
Or extra ammo, whatever the case may be.
So you don't do it Ted Nugent style, like if we,
New York reload.
Yeah.
Not really.
I used, when I started doing this, I used to do craziness like that. And then I was like, no, I just don't want all these things in my pocket anymore.
Yeah. I think it's interesting how you sort of change and develop and sort of become a little more refined in what you do from the time that you started. And we all start at some point, right? None of us are born right into this doing all of it. So at some point we all begin, and we sort of work through, hey, well, how's this going to work? What am I going to do with this? Should I carry an extra one? All these other things. We all have to sort of sort that out ourselves and figure out what we're going to do. And yeah, definitely. I've kind of been down that same road where I'm like, I definitely have to have a Glock, and I definitely have to have 2 extra magazines, and I definitely have to this. And over time, I'm like, go ahead.
Do you have a huge box at home of old holsters? Because I know in the garage I have a massive box of holsters from everything I've tried.
Yeah, I have a couple boxes of all the different things that I've tried out. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I think that's probably all of us. We got to come up with some kind of like bank or system or something like that to donate them, or do something with all those holsters, right?
I kind of like hanging on to them, man. Those are memories, I think about all the ways that I used to carry this, used to carry that. And then in other cases, I think about, this is still a really good holster. Maybe I'm not going to use it, but I know somebody who might. And so I hang on to it because someday I'm going to give it away to a family member. Or maybe one of my kids will want it, or whatever, So I do tend to hang on to all that stuff, even though I don't really use it anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you guys do that?
I don't know. I do hang on to all those things, and then sometimes I give them away. Sometimes Lola decides, okay, this is being sold, or something happens. I don't know. Babyface sometimes makes decisions like that when he thinks I'm too much of a hoarder.
You got some stuff in there. We're working on it.
Yeah, that's like my second wife or something like that, man.
Jesus.
He comes over. He's like, "What's going on here? What's up with all this crap?
Holsters for guns you don't even own anymore."
Yeah. And I'm like, listen, I like the security of knowing.
Maybe one day I'll need it.
Yeah. Let me get this question. I think it was Yoel Adams asked. He says, "Why is 380 ammo so much more than 9mm though?" Boom. There you go. Oof. Who wants to take that one on?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that. Why is it
more expensive?
I think it's just it's not as popular. That's going to be my guess. They make more 9mm defensively than they do 380.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say that that's basically the reason why. And I noticed that this is true with shotgun ammunition as well. Shotgun shells, 12 gauge, 20 gauge. They're usually pretty cheap. If you go to 410 gauge, all of a sudden, man, why is this so expensive? Why is it so expensive compared to the other two? And I think it does have to do with the fact that, the companies make so much more and sell so much more of the 12 and 20, and they know they will, and so they ramp up and just generate tons of that stuff because they make so much of it. They can sell it for so cheap, and I think that applies to 380 as well. I think ammo companies, maybe the demand isn't as much out there. I think it's increasing, but 9mm is a worldwide caliber.
Yeah,
it's used all over the place.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought 380 was more popular in the world outside of America, because I think in a lot of countries you actually cannot have 9mm.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean,
probably historically.
But 9mm is NATO standard, so half the world, at least half the world, is using it, and producing it in the.
But maybe just for military purposes, for sure. But I think in a lot of countries, in Mexico, for example, you can't have 9mm. I don't think.
That's true, but I think that what it comes down to here is when the entire, like 70% of the world is tooled up to produce 9mm, it's going to be cheaper. It's just the way it is.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully we answered that question.
Yeah.
You know, even though we're not experts, but you know,
theorizing.
Yeah. Let's see here. I don't know if there's any other. Here's a thing that I wanted to get to with you, Shane. What's the best way that people can support you out there? I'm curious about this. Like, what can people do to help out late Boy Scout? I know you were saying that you don't have you're not doing the Patreon thing, right?
That's correct. Yeah, I bailed from Patreon. Do you want the story on that?
Yeah. Let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the short version, I guess it's a semi-long, but I was getting kind of sick of Patreon because of some things that they were doing with me. As far as, I had a post, and it was like 2 years ago. I put a post up that said, guys here on Patreon, don't forget to go over to YouTube. And I didn't even put a link. I just said, go to YouTube and check out my giveaway for a Blade HQ gift card. And 2 years later, 2 years after that post, Patreon came to me and said, you got to take down this post because you're linking to weapons, and you can't do that through Patreon. And I wasn't linking to weapons. I was linking to a site that sells knives, but also backpacks, but also flashlights, but also notebooks, but also all this other stuff. And I tried to argue that with them and went back and forth 2 or 3 times, and they basically ended the conversation saying, look, you take it down or we pull your entire account. And that's just it. We think this is what the rules mean, even though they don't explicitly say that. And you have to take your post down or else. So I thought, I begrudgingly took my post down, and then from that point forward, stopped pushing Patreon. It was still there for a while. But then I saw a video from John Patton of the Gun Collective saying that he had basically the exact same experience I did. And for that reason, he was jumping from Patreon, going to Subscribestar. And I fully support anybody that's still on Patreon and wants to stick with it. And, of course, Subscribestar as well. But for me, I decided at that point, I'm just going to ditch Patreon. This is not, this isn't this isn't keeping the lights on. I don't need that money. I can live without it. So I'm just going to ditch this altogether, and I'm not going to try to get any sort of donation model going at all.
I remember that whole thing going down where I think Patreon got a bee in its bonnet about those kinds of posts, and they were sending out emails, and I think they were coming down on some people or even deplatforming people based on that. Okay, so you didn't get into anything else after that.
No, I chose not to. I just decided I can make it. I can do what I want to do without that. So if folks want to support me as far as buying stuff that I make or as far as clicking on my affiliate links, one of the best things you can do is follow me on Facebook, because I post deals there pretty regularly. Try to do it every single day. I have a few Teespring T-shirts that I've made that I think are cool. Okay. You may like them, you may not.
What does that one? Let's take a look. Let's get a look at that.
Yeah, this is riffing off the Friends logo, and just basically telling everybody firearms are friends. So make friends with your firearms.
Right.
And you can buy this in long sleeve and short sleeve and all the other colors and stuff. So and then I've got a handful of others like the I Heart 2A T-shirt and the.
So all of this is on, I believe,
knives and stuff.
Right, I believe this is on your. Is this on your .com?
So it would be on. It's my Teespring store. So most of my videos, I think all of them, have a link below them to all the T-shirts and things that I have on Teespring.
Okay,
so you can go there.
Okay, so that's
from specific... any of my videos. You can jump to that.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. I'm just trying to look through one of the videos. Okay, I'm not sure. I guess I don't see it on this particular thing, but there would be a Teespring. There would be a Teespring link to that.
There should be.
Okay.
Yeah, there should be a link to it. So.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I could find it. I don't immediately see the Teespring option on here for some reason. So, okay, there's a reason why I'm asking you all this. There's a reason. Okay.
Okay.
I want to. You see that hat on Shane's head right there, the Hank Strange hat. That for some reason, I mean, he wears a Hank Strange hat more than I do. which is amazing.
It's a great hat, dude. This is the Richardson 112. I have some of them that are just blank because I just love this style so much.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect hat for me. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you wearing that hat. And I was thinking, you know what? I want to do something to like pay you back for wearing it in all these videos. Babyface was saying how he was looking at a video completely randomly of one of your videos about knives, and he was like, "Do you know this guy? Because he's wearing your hat in this video." And I was like, "Yeah, it's my buddy. I've known him the whole time I've been doing this." So I want to be able to pay that back somehow. So here's my thing. Like, I've got these patches. I've got the Hank Strange. This is the broadcast patch. And nice. This is like me in a super suit with a laser blaster.
Oh, that's
patch.
Sweet.
Yeah,
that's
so
sweet.
I'm going to give 5 of each one of these, so 10 patches to wherever is the best place for people to support you. If they go there and they support you on that however you want to, and then you tell me, hey, these are the 10 people, you will give 5 of them one of these, and 5 of them one of these. Okay, cool. So that's what I'm going to do. So you got to figure that out. And let us know, like, where do you want them to go? Where do you want them to get stuff from?
Well, I would say go ahead and follow me and like the Facebook page that I post things to. That's where you're going to find the majority of the deals that I post on a daily basis. That's I'm definitely trying to grow that platform as a way to connect with people, get good information out there, but also support my channel through affiliate sales. So yeah.
Okay,
I'd love to get more followers over there.
All right, so go up on the Facebook page, and I'm going to send those to Shane and let him send those out to whoever. And hopefully that will be an incentive for you guys to go out there. I've got to figure out a way to pay him back for in his own videos promoting Hank Strange. You know, I really it's Lola loved it, by the way. She was like, "This is amazing. I can't believe he's wearing your hat in every video, and you don't even wear your hat."
I don't have just a hat that's just mine. You know what? I should probably make one, and I've kind of toyed with the idea for a long time. But if I make one, it's not going to look as good as this. So I don't know what I should.
Yeah, I mean, try. Nothing looks that great. I'll be honest with you. Although the logo's been updated, so.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Hunter Biden's crack pipe says Teespring is awesome.
What a great username! Oh my God.
He says Teespring's awesome. Hold on, let me put it back up here. Teespring is awesome, better than Redbubble. I bought my Bruiser Brody shirt from Teespring, so there you go.
That caught me offhand.
Yeah, whatever way works for Shane, that's what we're gonna do. We'll send him those 10 patches, and he will give those out to those people if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Thanks for, I know you enjoy the hat and everything, but I still, I've been thinking, man, this is really, really cool. You've been doing this YouTube thing before me. And I think we just sent you those hats back when we made them. It was like, let me send Shane a hat. And the fact that you just rocked it so much.
I'm pretty sure I asked for it because I was like, that's a cool looking hat. I want that hat.
Oh, okay, awesome.
And then you guys sent me one.
I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it. So let's see here. Car Kane says, no Facebook. What else can we do? Like I said, Shane's talking about all the different ways you can support him. We'll send him 10 of these.
Teespring.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you go support him somewhere on Teespring or whatever else, just say, hey, I heard about you from Hank Strange. What's up with the Hank Strange patches? And then that will help.
There you go.
Shane. Yeah.
We get some comments saying that on Facebook or Teespring or through whatever other way you decide to support me, then we'll send a patch your way until they're gone.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. All right, let's get into some other stuff. There's lots of different news things going on. I don't know where particularly you guys want to jump in. We've got riots and stuff like that going on right now in Minneapolis over basically what to me looks like a murder by this police department. Any thoughts on that as this is all developed? Anyone?
I still haven't watched the video.
I did watch it today.
Yeah, it's not pleasant to watch.
Not at all.
It's hard. So the one that I did see was the security camera footage that was put out yesterday, and it's hard to see what's going on. You can't tell. They take the guy behind the vehicle, and then you can't tell. I'm waiting for body camera. That's what. I want to see what the body camera has to say about the whole situation. Obviously, they killed a dude, and that's bad. In no way is that good or right. But I want to see what the body camera has to say about it.
Yeah. What are you going to say, Shane?
I'm with you in the sense. That we should wait for like all the information to come out, and I really hate knee-jerk reactions. But I watched the 9-minute long video that was just a cell phone footage of the guy being awake and asking and crying for them to get off of his neck.
Yeah.
And then
did they sit on him for 9 minutes?
Well, he had his knee on his neck.
Yeah.
To this entire body weight. You could see his body position and the fact that he was putting all of his body weight on that one knee to hold him down. But also the guy was already handcuffed at that point. So I don't know any of the stuff that led up to it. Obviously, all I can comment on is what I saw in the video. But he was there, knee on his neck, and it was about 9 minutes. And the guy became, at some point, he was in the beginning he was asking, "Get off my neck! I can't breathe, man! I can't breathe," and so forth. And people were kind of crowding around. "He can't breathe! Get off him! He can't breathe! You're killing him! You're killing him!" and all this stuff. And then at some point, he just stopped being responsive at all, and you could tell that he was clearly not awake, at least not awake, right? And
I mean,
at that point, it seemed like at that point the officer should have known. Okay, he's definitely 100% subdued. He's unconscious.
Absolutely.
But then he seemed to sit with his knee on this guy's neck for like another 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's
totally limp. That's
ridiculous.
And at that point, I don't know that you can justify any of it. I'm not trying to justify any of it. I'm certainly not an expert on any of this. But it seemed really bad because there he was, all of his weight on this body that is not moving at all.
He's
How do you justify that? I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I know, and so, like you said, man, all of this is complicated. It has many facets. We can look at it all different kinds of ways and all that. But I think it's pretty obvious here that this is like savagery. This is not how you treat human beings. This is definitely not how you serve and protect, although I know the whole thing about the cops don't have to serve you or protect you or anything like that. But it's complicated. But even the mayor, for example, of Minneapolis is calling for charges, right? This is a very Democratic leaning place. I always say when things like this happen and people get mad, we can get mad, we could tear up and destroy things like exactly what's happening right now. I think that's a little bit of an overreaction. If you look into a lot of this, you'll find that the people causing the most trouble right now there and destroying stuff, and not even from that place.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me at all. Like, what does looting a Target accomplish when if your main goal is race relations, what does looting a Target help? How does that help at all?
Well, and I think our goal should be, and we have these kinds of conversations all the time on the podcast. We've had police officers come on here. I try to do that because I just don't believe that all police officers are terrible, evil people.
No, that's a ridiculous notion.
Yeah, but there are bad ones, and even when we have guys come on here, they're like, there's bad police officers. We have to call them out. If you wanna fix that. And in some cases, in some places in America, you probably need to push the reset button on law enforcement altogether, right? On how this goes down, who you hire, how they're vetted, how they're trained, how they're properly compensated when you have the right people doing that whole thing. But the way to do all of that and to fix it is not to tear up and destroy things. And then other people now are dying in the process of all this.
Yeah, very good point.
So I don't know. I think it's just sad and terrible all the way around. I think this guy was an athlete, and from just looking up, what's his name? I think it's George Floyd.
I think that's right.
I think that he was supposed to have been a really good guy who was trying to help people and whatever. And somehow, regardless of how you get into trouble, because I think everyone can get it. I don't know. Put your hands up if you've never been pulled over by the police. So you can somehow get into trouble. It could happen to you. So it's happened to me. Now I think a lot of it is it's on both sides how both people react to it and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, You know, when these guys have someone's life in their hands and they push it too far, when they have ample opportunity to pull that back, then, you know, there's a reason why people get upset about it and demand that something be done about it. But when you start destroying your town that you live in, and then people are dying over it, and then you have people coming in, from what I hear, some of these are Antifa, radical Antifa people coming into the town. None of that helps us actually get to a better place and solving that problem and keeping the next person from this happening to them.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very true. I mean, there's, you were talking before about there's good cops, there's bad cops. There's also, I think, cops that have generally been good, and then something happens or they're in a situation and they just react really, really poorly. And I don't know if that's what this was. It's possible, you know. Maybe there was something that's going on in his life that snapped, or that made him snap and took him to the breaking point where he's like, I'm just going to stay on this guy's neck till he doesn't move anymore, and then I'll stay on it some more, because that's how mad I am at the world right now. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the motivation.
I'm sure that happens. I'm sure that happens from time to time.
People take their home life frustrations out on others all the time. Like that's not unusual.
But
at all.
It's also true that when you're in that position of great power, you have great responsibility. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was just about to say Spider-Man knows.
Yeah. I mean, this is not the job. This is not the job to bring your home life with you into the job.
No.
Maybe you shouldn't actually be on the job that day. You know?
Very true.
Very
true.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's got to be the police force has got to be full of people that can make that separation and disconnect themselves from their other stresses and their other problems, and only deal with the problem in the exact measured way that they're supposed to deal with the problem. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't be a cop. You shouldn't be on the police force.
Yeah.
And if you do that as a cop, then this is a situation, again, if everything turns out to be what the stories are saying, then he should be facing some prosecution.
Yeah, one of the things I think, and like it's going to be some time before we figure out everything that's happening. I know we're living in a world today where, everything's just happening real fast. Everyone wants immediate results. But while we're trying to figure that out, one of the problems we have right now is that people call the cops for every damn thing. It's like, it's almost like how, America is the police force for the world. So everything that happens around the world, America somehow has to magically solve that. Now Americans think if you're in McDonald's and your coffee's cold, I gotta call the police. It's the only people who could fix this situation, And there's just too many reasons, I think, for people calling in the cops. Cops are being used to react during this whole COVID thing. You've got police officers out there doing things that I don't really think has anything to do with their day-to-day job of what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. For sure.
So in my opinion, all of that just ups the likelihood of situations like this.
Yeah.
And one thing I could point to, this is like a little bit of a shameless plug here, obviously, but it's in the light of this. I had this conversation with John Crump from AmmoLand News about the ATF. So you guys all know about the Boogaloo shirts, right? Or do I need to fill you in, Shane? You know about the Boogaloo thing?
Fill me in. Maybe I know about it, but I forgot what you're talking about. Okay,
so I guess it's the Boogaloo boys. You are the meme expert here, Patrick. So you're gonna have to explain to us how how the Hawaiian shirts became a thing.
I had never heard of the Hawaiian shirts being a thing. I just know what booging is. Like Boogaloo is just a joke. Like when the Boogaloo kicks off, where are you gonna be, sort of thing. Like it's just a joke. That's all it is. But
so the Hawaiian shirt is tied to this somehow?
It is now.
Now it is. Yeah.
It is now. So,
man, I just started watching Magnum P.I. and I was looking to getting myself some Hawaiian shirts. Now you're telling me I can't.
Well, can't do it. Somehow Hawaiian shirts got tied into this, and because it got tied into this, the ATF actually sent out a memo to law enforcement telling them to be on the lookout for people with Hawaiian shirts.
Oh my god.
Booging out.
Yeah. And so this is what I was talking to Crump about. We have a video that we put up on the Hank Strange channel. There's a memo. Let me see. I have that memo actually on my phone. I could pull it up for you guys. And I'm going to read it because I want to get both of your reactions to this. Let me see here.
I actually watched the video this afternoon.
Yeah. So first of all, there's this flag, which I didn't even know about the flag. I knew about the Hawaiian shirts. I didn't know about the flag. Let me see if I can run this in here. So it says unclassified for official use only / law enforcement sensitive. And it shows this flag that looks a lot like the American flag and then has an igloo. Okay, and then one of the stripes has a Hawaiian pattern in it. And it says individuals associated with or in support of the movement may possess a flag similar to the one above. Please note the igloo and Hawaiian patterns as seen above are symbolic indicators associated with the Boogaloo, quote unquote, movement.
The Boogaloo movement.
Yeah.
Just that idea of like, there was a guy somewhere that wrote this, like sat down and seriously wrote this
from the ATF.
Think that this was some sort of serious threat to the country is absolutely hilarious to me.
Yeah. So it goes on. It goes on here. So it goes on. It says, use caution if coming in contact with any individuals who may identify with the big Boogaloo movement. Should anyone have additional information regarding threats against law enforcement made by members of the group, please contact the ATF Baltimore Crime Gun Intelligence Center, CGIC, and it gives their info. Or Intelligence Research Specialist, IRS, it gives the info of that person, and ask for the duty agent closest to where the threat occurred. This information alone should not constitute probable cause and is being sent for officer awareness only. And then it goes on to a warning thing about it. So basically, yeah, go ahead.
I assume, and this is just, from how, we think things work. I assume the person on desk duty that you're calling is going to have a little statue, and they'll ask you, where did the Boogaloo man touch you? And you'll have to like point and say, oh, the Boogaloo man he touched me in my naughty place. Mm-hmm. So just be aware that you're gonna have to do that when you go to report a boog incident.
Oh boy.
This seems funny, but it's also dangerous.
It's insane that our government is so out of touch with culture, with real life.
Yeah. I mean, how so
nuts.
Yeah, so a police officer comes across this. I know this was up before. Someone was saying that Guns and Gadget put this out, which I understand. Mm-hmm. I actually wasn't aware of that, but then also it wasn't confirmed. So what John Crump did was actually confirm this with the ATF, which basically their confirmation is...
not happy that it's out there.
Yeah, they're not happy that it's out there. They want to know how it got out there, but what the hell is happening? You're just creating another reason for a police officer to come in contact with someone's grandfather who's just wearing a freaking Hawaiian shirt, doesn't even know anything about all this. And then everything goes sideways from there.
Please, sir, keep your hands out of your pockets. Don't go booging out on me right now, sir. I see you in the Hawaiian shirt. I don't want you to flip out and start booging anywhere. It's a dangerous time.
Yeah. How do we actually have time for this?
I don't know. This is ridiculous.
Somebody got paid to write that memo and put it out. Think about that. There's a dude at a desk somewhere.
Yeah.
They got paid with our tax dollars to write that.
Think about the memos we don't even see.
Oh, God, good point.
Yeah. Think about the memos related to us specifically as gun guys that we're not aware of.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure there are a lot of them.
Oh, there are.
Sure memos on all the YouTube channels.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they have dossiers on all of us.
There's some stuff. John actually might be getting some information pretty soon here. Okay. There might be some leaks coming out which as soon as I get them, I will bring them to you guys. But apparently, from what I hear, there's more memos. And there's more things like this. There's a lot of this going on. There's a lot of watching people and classifying people and putting people into boxes that's going on. And to me, it's just like, what the hell does the ATF have to do with any of this?
Well, hold on. Are they going to look at my Amazon Prime watch history, see that I actually have been streaming Magnum PI for the past week or two. And are they going to go, he's definitely part of the Boogaloo movement. Look at all those Hawaiian shirts that he's got his eyes on.
Yeah. There's
and
lot
dudes, that's a great show. Have you guys watched the old Magnum PI?
Yes. Yeah.
When I was younger, I haven't seen it recently though.
I've looked at it recently. It holds up. Yeah.
It totally holds up.
Yeah.
It's on Prime right now. I'm in season 2. It's fantastic. And here's what another really cool thing is. I can sit and watch it with my kids. You know, it's not like a lot of modern television shows where I'm concerned about some of the content, but I can watch it with my young kids. And tell you what, though, I don't remember if I told you this, Hank, but I grew up in Hawaii. So I was on the North Shore in Hawaii, and that's where I grew up.
Cool.
And so the years that I was there as a kid, they were filming that show.
Oh, wow.
And so we would watch that show and see parts of the island that we knew and be like, oh, he was over here, and then he was over there, then he was over there.
Did you ever meet Tom Selleck?
I never did, but I believe I had friends who would say, oh, yeah, we saw them filming over there. We saw them filming over here and whatnot. And you can go on Google Maps and look up the place, like the site where they filmed all the Robin's Nest scenes. Like it was like the Robin's Nest was the name of the place where he lived. He lived in the guest house, right? And that's a site, that's a place, and that used to. I think they just recently demolished the actual building.
No, that should have been a historical.
Right,
protected.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. But the private lagoon is all still there. So all the stuff you see on the show, like the landscape wise, is still there. But the building, I guess, maybe was just too old and condemned, and they ripped it down. But I mean, I'm sure it's Hollywood. I'm sure they filmed a lot of stuff in Los Angeles.
I think so.
And all over the place. But I think very similar to the TV show Lost, they would make parts of Hawaii look like other places because that's where it was convenient to film because they were just set up to film there. So they probably did a lot of that too. Yeah. It was very cool to watch as a kid because I was thinking like, this is happening right now. It's like, and then watching it today, I'm looking back on that and going, man, that is the place where I grew up, and seeing all those, and the cars and the people and the areas. It's like, that's exactly the way I remember it. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
I thought it was a cool time capsule of looking at it of the 80s. And I think it does really stand up. I looked at most of those while I was editing. I like that, Yeah. I need something that could play in the background that I could look at, but I don't have to be super deeply invested in it, and I could still edit while I'm doing it. So yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
But if you are just sitting down and watching it with some popcorn or something, it totally holds up as a drama action show.
I always looked up for the beach scenes, really lots of hot chicks and 80s style.
The car scenes, the chases. Yeah. Watching Magnum PI shoot guns. Have you seen any of the scenes where he's shooting guns? He goes into this full squat, like this full CrossFit squat. He's down low, dude. It's hilarious. He does it every single time. I keep watching it going like, is he only doing that because he's trying to take cover? Why is he doing that?
Whoever the trainers were at that time. So for Patrick, if you want to know what your parents looked like in the 80s, man, look at Magnum PI. I'm sure they were rocking and rolling. They were rocking and rolling like that. It's an interesting thing as well. Like you see all these people who later on became famous, or maybe they were famous at the time. Like Sharon Stone was on there and different things. So yeah, definitely a good show to check out.
Who's the guy from Cheers? Well, Cheers is an old show.
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson was on it. He was on an episode. He was like the obvious bad guy from the beginning. Not that giving anything away.
It's a little bit like watching. If you look at did anyone ever watch The Love Boat?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched Love Boat, Magnum PI. What else was there?
A-Team. A-Team.
A-Team. Heck yes. Heck yeah.
What was the other one? A-Team. There was Spencer for Hire. There was what was the one with Pierce Brosnan before he did James Bond? Moonlighting. Was it Moonlighting?
No. That was Remington Steele.
Oh, Remington Steele. Yeah.
Remington Steele. Moonlighting was with Bruce Willis and what's her name? Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd.
Oh, okay.
And that was also a great show.
Yeah.
Moonlighting. Yeah. I would love to watch that. Yeah. If that's on a streaming service.
Yeah. I like the old timey shows, the 80s when men were men.
Oh, dude, a lot of them hold up though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, maybe just because we're old. Yeah, maybe just because we're old dudes and
maybe.
we're nostalgic. But see, Babyface, the
That's
young
true.
guy, he's laughing at us. Yeah, he's like, look at
I
this
watched.
guy. I only know about the Teletubbies.
What was the show with Don Johnson?
Miami Vice?
Miami
Was that
Vice.
wasn't Miami Vice, was it?
Don Johnson?
Yeah, I definitely
was the
watched
big
that.
show.
He was in Miami
That was
Vice.
the big show he was in.
He might have been in something else after.
It must have been Miami Vice, and I watched when I was a kid.
Miami Vice was an awesome show too.
He had a Bren 10, right? Yeah, that was Miami Vice. Yep.
Yeah, he had a test. He had some kind. I think Walter was talking about this. There was some other car, and then he had a Testarossa. That's what I remember.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, I remember the Testarossa. And then what was Magnum's car? That was a what? Ferrari what? Someone knows. Someone tell us what Ferrari that was.
Somebody will jump in. Nash Bridges. Oh, they corrected it. It was Nash Bridges. That was when I watched.
That's no.
Not Miami Vice.
Oh, okay.
That's because you're young.
Okay.
That's because you're young. Yeah.
That was after Miami Vice.
Yes.
That would have been after. Yeah.
That was.
That's
that
what I saw when I was.
Was that 90s? Late 90s?
Yes,
Fall
early
Guy.
90s.
Somebody mentioned Fall Guy.
Fall Guy.
You remember Fall Guy?
Yeah.
Oh man, I loved that show as a kid. Fall
Yeah.
Guy. That big truck he had that was always doing big jumps. It's like, why is he doing a big jump right now? Because he's got the truck. He just does that.
Same thing with Knight Rider. I love Knight Rider, by the way.
Watch Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, so awesome. You know,
that intro, the soundtrack.
Yeah. With the, you know what? I just couldn't wait until we actually lived in times where the cars could drive themselves and talk to you. But now we're in those times.
We're just sort of getting there. Like,
we're there. We're there, but it's, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it felt when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't feel the same way. I mean, we got Teslas. They drive themselves.
That's true.
You know,
That's
they can
true.
talk
they
to
don't
us.
Talk to you in a British voice, though.
If you get
AI personality.
Well, if you turn Siri, you can select your Siri voice to be British, which is what I always do. That's what you got to do. You got to select.
Respond to Kit instead of Siri.
No, that's gonna cost you.
Yeah.
That's gonna. I forgot the name of the guy who actually did the voice for Kit. I don't know if that guy's still around, but that guy had like a classic. I bet you they could go back with machine learning and use the Knight Rider show to make a voice that sounds like Kit.
Emulate a voice.
I think so.
They totally could. They totally could. They have to do that today.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And it's weird. We still have David Hasselhoff. Who's a fan of David Hasselhoff still? Yeah, he's still kicking. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a little bit weird, but you know.
Yeah.
He's a little
still
weird.
Kicking.
Did you? There was
Hasselfrau.
Yeah. From Guardians of the Galaxy. But there was also like there was also this weird show that was supposed to be like a mock reality show with David Hasselhoff, where he was in Europe. No one saw that? Was that just me?
No, that one.
Yeah, there's this weird David Hasselhoff show out there. And David Hasselhoff was actually real sexy and a superstar in Germany.
Yes, I heard that was true. Like the Germans loved him for some reason.
Yeah. The Juice is saying Small Wonder, Alf, etc. I used to watch Alf.
Yep.
Alien Life Form. You don't know about Alf, do you?
I know what it is, but I never watched it, I don't think.
Yeah.
And Small Wonder was about a little android girl who, like, the dad created her or something, and then she became like this android member of the family.
I remember.
And her name was Vic. She was Vicky, was her name, and I think it was like an acronym for something. But she would walk around all robotic with her hands down like this and talk in this robotic voice.
Oh, okay.
And my little brother picked up on that and somehow decided to just completely become Vicky. It was hilarious. For about the space of maybe 2 weeks, he would walk around and say, "My name is Ricky," because he couldn't say it. And he would just walk around like a robot, and no matter what you did to him, no matter how you tried to poke him or get him mad, he would just be a robot. And he did that for like a solid week. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Those 80s. Kathleen Music Lover says Alf was a Muppet. Or definitely a puppet of some sort.
Yeah.
There was some kind of hand up someone's butt on that one. But Alf was funny, though. And then what was the name of the guy that was Max Headroom? Does anyone remember Max Headroom?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that is other than Did you ever hear the Max Headroom takeover that somebody did on a radio or a TV station?
Mm-mm.
You never heard about that? That's
Okay.
the only reason I know of Max Headroom. There was somebody. Oh, let me see if I can.
It was
Incident.
Max
Here we go.
Headroom was like a virtual reality thing, but they used a guy and they faked virtual reality. And Max
On-
Headroom
Yes.
was actually in Back to the Future 2, I want to say.
November
The
22nd,
actor?
1987, somebody took over a Chicago broadcast for like a couple minutes
Mhm.
where they were just dressed as Max Headroom with like a mask or something,
Really?
and nobody knows who it
Oh,
was.
okay.
Like they never caught the guy. They have no idea who
Wait,
it
he
was.
took over a radio station
a TV station. He hijacked
station.
a TV network. Yeah,
in
it got-
'87.
1987. Yep.
Oh. Interesting, yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and I think it was Back to the Future 2. They did a Max Headroom thing. They had a Michael Jackson version of Max Headroom. They had a Ronald Reagan version.
That
Yes,
sounds
I
right.
remember that now.
Yeah, and I think they had Max Headroom, but I could be wrong. Or they just did maybe they just did the Michael Jackson and the Ronald Reagan version when they, in the future thing. So
And they were like virtual versions of them, but they digitized them or something.
Yeah.
I think I remember
Yeah.
that.
James Miller throws out Quantum Leap. When I was a youngin', I'd come home from school and Sci-Fi ran. For some reason I was talking to Marley about this last night. Sci-Fi ran like an afternoon special where it was one episode of Lost in Space, one episode of the original Star Trek, and like one or two episodes of Quantum Leap, and it was awesome.
yeah, yeah. What was that? '90s, mid '90s?
Probably late 90s.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember.
So good.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel used to be my jam, man. I don't know.
Used to be
I
good,
don't have
right?
cable anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once the internet came in, I don't know. That was the end of that was the end of cable and all those things here.
That's true.
Yeah, Skivvy Waver says Max Headroom was Murdoch on A-Team. True. I
That is
think.
true. I remember that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Let's see. The 80s was so awesome. We need to really have 80s bars or clubs or when I get so old that I'm going to
Throwback.
be Yeah, well, when I'm so old I have to be put into the rest home, I want to go to an 80s rest home.
Do you
please.
just want them to like pretend it's the 80s again?
Yes.
Just theme everything is the 80s.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be so great, man. Just feel young all day long. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just drop me in there. It's fine.
Yeah. And then everybody has to dress like they're in the 80s. All the staff is in the 80s.
The 80s was cool, man. We had big hair. We had shoulder pads.
And then they go out,
big white
the doors
Yeah.
open, and it's 2050 outside.
And everything sucks.
Yeah.
No, man,
Yeah.
take me back to the 80s.
Yeah.
Dystopian future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 80s was pretty good. I don't know if 80s cars were any good, though. I'm trying to think of the
None
best.
of them were. No, none of
I'm
them
trying
were.
to think of what was a good. A Fiero. Fiero's a classic, but I don't know if it was a good. Yeah. Fieros were pretty sexy, but I never owned one in the I would like to have like an original Fiero today. Just an original Fiero, not made into a Ferrari or anything. Just like I actually have, and it's a 90, it's not an 80s, but this started in 80s. The Suzuki Samurais.
Really?
Yeah.
You have one of those?
Yeah, I bought one. I
Nice.
bought a 1990 Suzuki Samurai, which is basically the same thing as the 80s. Like a 1980 whatever, 88 or... When did the Samurai start? Was it 85? Someone will know.
I don't
But,
remember, man.
yeah, it's basically just a little half a Jeep.
Yeah. It's a tiny little Jeep.
Yeah. But I got it just because
So-
of nostalgia. I remember being in high school and the dudes that had those were the man.
God, I can't even imagine the cool guys having a
Yes.
Suzuki Samurai. That's just crazy.
Yes.
I
Did it ever
like
roll?
a
Did it ever
Camaro.
roll over on you?
No, I never had one. I never had one when I was in high school. The one I have now, I think is fun. I've never gotten it over 60. I've never gotten it over 55 miles an hour. It just can't do it. But it's got big
No.
wheels and all that stuff on it. So I'm gonna hook it up. Maybe I'll swap out the engine or something. But I don't know. That is probably where I go out because it's basically made of tinfoil. Philadelphia Patriot says, I want to see Hank dressed as Murtaugh and Babyface dressed as Riggs. Oh, so Lethal Weapon. Was that when did Lethal Weapon start? Was that that was early 90s or late 80s? Lethal
I
Weapon
feel like it
movies.
was late '80s, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh, Wild Arms said Camaro. So that's true. Camaro.
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 Yeah, he spelled Camaro on there. Camaro Z28. I remember the IROC Zs.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the and oh, I'll tell you what was really a really nice car in the 80s that I would like to have. Mitsubishi Starion. I would totally. Do you know what the Mitsubishi Starion looks like?
Never heard of it.
Oh, it was an awesome car. There was two. There was an American version of the Starion, which I cannot remember what the heck it was. Basically, same car. One was an American version, and one was the Japanese. A lot like how you see Toyota and BMW or whoever it is doing it now. Like they basically have the same car. They just give it their own name. So there you go. Buick Regal and Grand National. Yeah, Grand National was actually pretty badass. I saw a Grand National the other. So in the 80s, I thought those were cool. I never had one or anything like that. And then the other day, I went somewhere and I saw a Grand National and I lost my mind. Nostalgia just hit me, and I was like, "What? This is a great. Where did this come from?" But in the 90s, people were like, "Oh, whatever. That's that's nothing." That's how nostalgia works on you. And when we get older from now, we're gonna look back at Teslas or something, and we're gonna be like, "Oh my God, those are so cool."
There are way cooler cars. Come on.
I'm just saying that nostalgia thing will creep up on you. Okay, have you seen the Cybertruck? That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Seen the pictures.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
It's kind of interesting, honestly.
I'm getting a Cybertruck. That's
real?
happening. Yeah. I put money down on it. Here, I will show you. Did you see Jaylen? There's a bit. Now I know we're supposed to be gun guys. We're supposed to be talking about gun stuff, which we'll get to.
We're talking about the 80s and cars right now.
Yeah. So there's a video of Jay Leno.
Yeah.
There's a video of Jay Leno. Actually, what's his name? Elon Musk took the Cybertruck to Jay Leno and let him drive it.
Was it in his garage, like the Jay Leno garage thing?
It's on whichever one that's on the CNBC show. And I'm playing video from it right now where they basically I think he went over to Tesla, he took it and he went into that tunnel that they have in LA. But you can see in there like right now I'm playing it, you can see Musk standing on top of the tonneau cover, and they're driving around and they're talking about how it's bulletproof. I mean, this is going to be like a bulletproof SUV. Gun guys better get this thing. So, yeah.
It's going to be a real life
Shane?
tumbler from Batman.
Yeah, Shane, you're not going to get this. You could put your motorcycles in there,
dude.
man.
I'm a late adopter to everything. So, I'll tell you what. In 20 years, if this thing is still around, then I'll be shopping around for one.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. It's going to be nostalgia. But that is like an 80s throwback. If you look at that, that looks like a vehicle out of an 80s movie. That looks like something out of Mad Max.
Or DeLorean.
Yeah.
It's got a DeLorean look to it.
Yep.
That's what I think. When I see it, I think DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
It's a DeLorean that just kind of it got pumped full of air and just kind of blew up a little.
It got on steroids.
Yeah.
It met Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he convinced him to get on steroids. And he just did it a little bit too much. He couldn't come back from that. He went into full roid rage. So very cool. Let's see what else here. We got you here, man. We should definitely talk about some knife stuff.
I got EDC in front of me. If we want to talk EDC.
Yeah, let's do EDC stuff.
Go to yours first. Yeah.
Actually, you know what I want to talk to everyone about first? So Olight's coming up with lights.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done an Olight thing in a while because, to be honest with you, they get a little crazy. But they do have lights that are coming out. So there's a sale. Let me see. Where do I have that? I'll pull it up here for everyone. And Lola's going to be mad at me because she told me all about this thing. Okay, boom. Here we go. Okay, so here's the Olight sale that's coming out. Lola will probably throw some links up in here. There's a link in the description for you guys. Let's see what this is here. Basically, it's all day Friday. They've got a new gun metal gray color for the PL Mini 2, you know, and then there's different combos they have. So the best deal in here will be the PL Mini 2 Valkyrie gunmetal gray bundle for $76. Or you could just get the light on its own, or you could get all these awesome colored ones, which I think, Patrick, you're into the purple.
I'm picking up a purple. Tonight when they go on sale, I'm picking up a purple one.
Yeah. So if anyone is up for this, we will have the link in the description for anyone who's in. Oh, there we go. Hold on a second, Shane. Boom. There you go. Shane's throwing up the purple. That's a good purple.
It looks sharp.
Yeah.
It does look good, right?
Yeah, that's a nice electric purple look there that I really enjoy. Okay, so here's the gunmetal gray. I'm opening it up right now. They sent it to me here.
So this is the clicky back. Oh no, that's the gun, the pistol light. Okay.
Yeah, this is the pistol light, and we'll put it. I wonder if it'll go on this orange. This is a toy.
It does have a. It might work actually.
Let me see if I can do. I don't know if it's actually gonna go on this rail here. Let's see. This rail, I don't know if the rail is to spec. It might not be. Okay, I don't. No, not working.
Here it is on a PPQ long slide.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, that looks pretty sharp. That looks really sharp.
This plastic is not actually to spec, I don't think.
Hank's not paying attention. Look up real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah.
With the long slide?
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah. We can't actually
you really see the difference between the gray and the black, and it's, you know, when I first pulled it out of the box to look at it myself, I was like, that's almost black. Are you sure it's not black?
Yeah.
And then I put it on a black gun. I was like, no, it's not black. It's a cool. It's a dark gray, but it's very cool looking.
Yeah. So here it goes here in the studio. Let's see if that, you know, yeah. If I tilt it the right way with the light, then you guys could see it here. I would have to take the stuff out here to get the light working, but yeah, there you go. So that is going to be on sale along with here's the other thing that goes along with that. Let me pop this one open. This isn't the purple babyface. I know.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sad they didn't send you the purple one because I just would have dibsed it and pretended it was
I've got the purple, but I don't have it in my pocket.
Yeah.
But I do have those pictures of it.
Yeah. So here we go. This is the I5T, which is also a cool color. They've got some nice colors out there. So all of that's going to be coming up tomorrow. We've got links and all that for anyone who's interested in that. Shane, I think you do Olight stuff as well, right? So people want to support you.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got Olight links.
So I'll probably have a link on my YouTube community page at some point, but then over on Facebook as well, for sure. And I've got a few more pictures I'll be posting to Instagram, so those will be coming up as well.
I really like Olight stuff. Even before I started doing these kind of affiliate things with them, we discovered them at SHOT Show. We thought it was cool. Oh, there you go.
How do you like? So I was looking at picking up one of those i5Ts. How do you like the throw and the fill and everything on it? Because it's an EDC light. It's not a super bright.
It's an EDC light. It's an EDC. It's not meant to throw really far. It's meant to illuminate, stuff that's fairly close to you within 25 yards, and it does a pretty good job of that. And it's two mode, I believe. So it's like a really low mode for reading stuff in your car and whatnot, and then more general use as well.
Yeah.
And the exact numbers I don't have in the top of my head, but
yeah. And it looks like this I think this just uses a AA, right?
Triple.
Is it?
Or is it double?
No, this one's the AA, the one you're holding there.
Yeah. Let me see. I'll go in here and open it up while we're talking about it.
As you're gonna see.
Yeah, there you go. AA.
Nice.
AA. I'll put that back in.
Yeah.
I like the copper accents. Oh, okay. Yeah, so they've got it in a few different colors.
Yeah, it's been a very cool one.
There you go. So that's the kind of light that it's kicking out here. just to give you guys
Yeah,
an
it's
example.
kind of a wider, kind of
That's
a
still pretty good.
wide but very
That's-
soft spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's the lower beam of it. So
Yeah.
you can go up to brighter like that. That's actually not bad. Let me see if it says it on the box here what the lumens is. I don't know if you see that. What is it?
300 max, I think.
Yeah. 30 lumens and then
300 for that one?
yeah, looks like 300. It's typically between 30 and 300.
Did I say 30? I meant 300. That's the max output is 300 lumens.
Yeah, on the max for that. So the Valkyrie has the magnetic charging thing.
That is one thing that they have brought to the market that I love. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. If you're gonna put it on,
that across so many different lights.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna put it on your handgun or something like that, you want to be able to charge it up in the office or in the car. You know, be able to charge that light up. So there you go. All right. So I know that Shane's gonna have that. Late Boy Scout's gonna have it. We'll have some stuff up that kicks off tomorrow. You know, if you want to support us, this is a good way to do.
Really?
Yeah, midnight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
midnight tonight.
Yeah. So just be on the lookout for that.
Midnight your time.
Yeah. How far, where are you? Ahead of us in time?
Behind.
Behind?
Behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Utah, so it's 6:30 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Go do the Hank Strange stuff first. And then by the time they get to midnight in Utah, you know, you can go hit up the late Boy Scout. It's just weird, man. Why do we even have? Why are we still doing this crazy time thing?
I don't know.
The sun is not in all the sky at the same time.
We just need
Hank
one
Strange.
time. I want
It
one
doesn't.
time.
So our like 2 a.m. would be like somebody else's like midday.
Yeah,
2 a.m. when it's bright and sunny out.
Keep it simple. One time for the whole
Everybody
world.
go to bed at the same time. Everybody
Yeah.
waking up at the same time.
Oh God, could you imagine
Yes,
if
dude.
everybody in the world woke up and took a morning pee at the same time? The water pressure in the whole world would just be gone. Like it would just implode.
Oh boy, and that's how the world ended.
You've heard they had problems with that in Super Bowl cities, right?
Oh, I believe it. I
like,
believe it.
During
That
big
makes
Super
sense.
Bowls, cities have problems with water pressure during commercial breaks.
Oh my gosh.
I believe it. I really do believe that. Okay, so let's go to some some EDC stuff. Knives. What's your favorite? You're the big knife guy here, Shane. So you tell us what's the hot knives right now.
Oh geez, the hot knives.
Yeah, what's the hot knives, man? Come on, this is
that's-
why we turn to you.
Okay.
He's
Let's see. What are the hot knives? I mean,
so-
there are a lot of really good ones. Here's the thing. There's been a little bit of a I don't want to say a break, but kind of a difference of opinion. Largely, I'm not going to say this is universal, between gun guys who also like knives and knife guys who also like some guns.
Mhm.
A lot of the knife guys, they don't care where it's made, who makes it, what their political opinions are, or who they donated to, or blah, 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 blah. They're like, it's a great knife. I want my great knife. And then the gun guys are like, but they donated to this guy. But it's made
true.
in this country. But this and this. And so they're like, I don't want that knife because of that. And so gun guys are going to be a bit more picky about, and I'm not saying it's good or bad or wrong or right. They're going to be a bit more picky about certain things. Whereas knife guys just want a great knife. They want a cool knife. So there are, I guess, some factors to think about there, or just to acknowledge anyway. But there are definitely some good ones coming from lots of different companies that are at varying levels of friendliness to 2A issues.
Right.
That
So
are making
you're saying like
enormously. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. You're saying that the pure knife guys don't they're not concerned at all with politics.
I wouldn't say they're not concerned at all, but as far as what they talk about on their channels, it's largely just knives. It's like the aesthetics of it, the quality of it, the style, the design, and so on and so forth.
Right.
And so getting into the being pro Second Amendment kind of makes you automatically a bit political because you have to be active to protect those rights.
Yeah.
And knife guys have some of that as well because there are some really dumb knife laws out there, but it's not nearly at the same level. And
so like a Benchmade or something like that might make you set you on fire.
The gun guys, guys will get set on fire by that.
And if you got
knife guys are like, that's my favorite knife.
Yeah.
And they'll show it all day long, every day.
Yeah. So like this Benchmade, before everyone starts picketing me, was a gift actually from the Fort Scott Munition guys, because you can see their logo is on there, and they actually put my logo on. They lasered it on the other side, but it was a gift from them. And they didn't know. One of my first things, I was like, oh, yeah, there's going to be some hate about that. But, they had they at that time when they got into these, they didn't know all the stuff that we know today about it. So that's kind of like what you're saying, right?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to say. But, in addition, I mean, if we're going to set that stuff aside, and as somebody who appreciates knives, I have to overlook some of that stuff and go, but the design is really good, and the design is really interesting, and it's really iconic, and I have to sort of acknowledge both things, right?
Do you get hate on your channel? Do you get hate? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but do you get hate on your channel over that? Like, if you cover a knife because you're like, hey, this is a cool knife, do people just lose their minds and they're like, that's it, I'm done with the late Boy Scout because he talked about this?
It's not overwhelming. It's definitely not overwhelming, but yeah, there are a few. There's the the unsilent minority that definitely pop up and want to have something to say. And so there's, you kind of have to be aware of those issues and then find some way to talk about stuff that's important anyway. But yeah, Benchmade is, like, the knife you just showed there, they're still making the quality of their knives is still fantastic. And if you are okay with some of their past, then you're going to really enjoy some of the new knives that are coming out. There's so there's one that's called the I don't have it handy, but the Osborne 940 is one of their most iconic knives. Maybe aside from the Griptilian you showed just there, is maybe one of the most iconic ones that they've got.
Okay.
And they're releasing the 9400, which is an auto version of the 940. And so it's got the push button on it, and
it's out the front blade, or it's a flip up.
It's a flip up, but it's the same exact knife. So everything you love about the 940, it's even the same colors. So the aluminum is still green. I think it's still got that purple backspacer. The blade shape is identical, but it's got a push button instead of that axis lock on it.
Okay.
That looks sexy.
So what is it called again? Let me see if I can look that up.
It's the Benchmade 9400 is what it's going to be called.
So
right now they're taking pre-orders for it.
Okay, so is there a way for the gun guys who don't like the fact, if anyone wants to know, these are the guys who were helping, what was it, Seattle or something like that? They were helping a police department cut up guns, and we got very upset, which I think rightly so. Like, I wouldn't actually buy a Benchmade,
Okay.
Just based on the fact.
There was the cutting up guns part, which, from what I understand, the guns had to be destroyed by court order.
Right.
And Benchmade was like, look, we've got some great equipment that works well for doing that, and we're not going to break any saws or destroy any stuff like you guys might, or hurt yourselves if you try to do this yourselves. Look, we want to help out our police department who have been ordered to destroy this stuff. How about you guys come over here and do it here? But it was a terrible looking thing to do.
Yeah,
it's a terrible looking thing.
And then they promoted it on social media like, oh, gun guys will love this.
Which was an extremely bad look too. Yes. It was
Oregon.
PR. Or PR disaster.
How do you say Oregon? Oregon.
Okay.
I don't know why I say Oregon, but I think it looks like Oregon. Okay, there's no in there, I guess. Oregon. Was that right? No, still not right. Oregon. Okay, forget it. I'm not gonna get this right.
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon. It's just Oregon.
Oregon. Okay.
Jesus.
But they made a bad move. Have they tried to make up for this? Have they tried to say, hey, we'll sell this knife and we'll give money to, I don't know, some pro 2A organization that's not the NRA. Because we're mad at the NRA right now too.
I know. It's being a Second Amendment supporter is it's a landmine.
Yeah,
so
Soxfest says the police promoted it, not Benchmade.
Oh, I think he's right.
That's true.
Yeah,
I believe that's true.
Yeah.
And then Benchmade was like, "What?"
Yeah. They also, once that came out, then like a day or two later, somebody looked into their political donations.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Why did you donate to this jerk who's completely anti-Second Amendment?" Anyway, so it was kind of a big cluster, but again, if you're gonna appreciate knives, you're gonna have to overlook some of that stuff and just go, look, this is an outstanding designer, and this thing that he created is spectacular. And if I want to actually get access to it and get it in my hands, then I have to buy from whoever's making it, and that's just what it comes down to. And that's also true of country of origin, because there are a lot of really great looking knives that you're just not going to be able to buy except for maybe a custom version of it, unless you buy the Chinese produced version of that knife. You just can't have it otherwise, because it's just way, way too much money. And so that's another thing that's very true. But there's there's a lot of knives produced by Kershaw, produced by Civivi and Wee knives, who make extraordinarily good knives, and they're beautiful and they work great and they're made of good materials. But you have to take into account, are you like, okay, do I really want to support a Chinese knife company, or do I want to support a USA knife company that's sending all of their knives to China to be made? CRKT, and that is one of those, I believe. I don't think they make. Yeah. There might be a couple they make in the United States. There are a few, I'm pretty sure, but largely their stuff is made overseas.
Yeah, I think after this coronavirus thing, there may be some people coming down on them. So do you still, like in your position, I think you're very known for knives. Are you still buying those knives, doing videos, or maybe, I don't know if you've got T&E stuff going on with those companies. How does that work for you?
Right. Let's see. There's not a ton that I have in queue as far as knives are concerned right now that I haven't already done videos on. There's probably a few that I could dig out and go, oh, I never made a video about this, but there aren't very many of them. And a lot of them I've either made a standalone video on it, or I've included it in something. So if you're looking for brand new knife stuff from me right now, there's not a lot in queue, but there are a few things that are kind of on the back burner, or probably coming down the pipe. Let's see. I don't know if I want to give anything away, but there's a few things that I'm interested in that are probably going to be happening soon. And I mean, basically just reviews, but yeah.
What cool ones do you have there that you could show us?
I didn't bring a ton. I've got a bunch in this drawer over here, which I can't quite reach because of I got a light in front of it.
Oh, okay. But
the one that I use and grab and reach for most often right now is the Spyderco Para 3.
Oh.
And so this one's kind of semi-custom done by me, with not really custom done, but just some custom swap outs. So it's got the deep carry pocket clip on it, which is much better than the original. And I actually put this custom scale on it. So it's got that sort of brown scale with that cool texture on one side, just on one side, because the scale that goes on the opposite side makes it so you can't use this deep carry clip. So I have the black original scale on that side and the brown new scale on this side. And so it's very kind of one of a kind in that way. And
it's like Panda.
I like it. Yeah,
it's like Panda stuff.
So,
by the way, I don't know where I got this from. I think it might be from some.
That's a great looking knife.
Some gun guy.
Whoever gave you that?
I don't
whoever
know.
gave you that was some kind of a cool dude.
Yeah,
man.
vaguely a handsome guy.
They've got some good taste. Definitely good taste in hats.
Yeah, I still have it. I got this from Late Boy Scout. I still have it. I just want you to know, because I have lost some really nice knives that I've been given.
Is it sharp?
Let's see. Do we have paper somewhere? Can we cut some paper?
You sure you want to do this?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do this on video?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. It could go wrong. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's still sharpish.
Okay. Do you have a sharpener of any kind?
Do I? Yeah, there he goes. He's right over there. His name is
really?
His name is BFP. Yeah, his name is BFP.
I have what's the one? It's oh God, what's the name of it?
Yeah, you got to find out. Okay, so look, we got a piece of paper. Let's see here.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Oh,
okay. Sorry.
Man.
Sorry.
You just made me cry.
Yeah.
You just made me cry.
Shame on me. Shame on me. No, not sharp, actually.
The Spyderco Sharp Maker is a good, affordable sharpening system. It's just kind of a rod-based system with, it comes with fine and coarse rods. It's really easy to use. Mm-hmm. I usually recommend that one to anybody that doesn't have any kind of a sharpener because it gives you enough of a really quality edge, but not like for a really high price. Because you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on knife sharpeners that are really good, and they keep really super consistent angles and all this, and they got multi-level stones and stuff, mm-hmm. and they're great. But as far as something that's pretty affordable, is like $50 or so, then you've got maybe a relatively nice collection, but not a ridiculous amount of excellent like $1,000 knives. Then the Sharp Maker is a good one to get into.
Oh, okay.
I have an Edge Pro Apex. That's what I have.
Oh, that's a nice sharpener. Mm-hmm. That's mm-hmm. It's one of those $multi-$100.
It was expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's Babyface, you haven't been doing your job on that knife, man. I blame that squarely on your shoulders.
Listen, I'll pick it up tomorrow and drop it off on.
You never. No, hold on. This is my late Boy Scout knife here. So.
Yeah, I know. That thing can't disappear.
No. Let's see. What do you have over there, Patrick? You want to show off a knife?
Honestly, because of a late Boy Scout review and a Nut and Fancy review. This is the first knife I ever bought when I got out of college.
Delica
4. Nice. And I mean, you can see.
Is this the blue one?
Pocket clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see the pocket clip. It's been carried a lot and sharpened, and this thing was my go-to for a couple years. Like, this is a really good knife.
Standard VG10 on that one, right?
Yes, the VG10 with the full flat grind.
Yeah.
Is it sharp?
I love this.
It is sharp?
Very sharp. I don't have any paper, but I can shave my arm if that's what you want.
Dude.
It will
VG10
shave.
Gets really sharp.
And I really, really like this blade.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. That's a great one.
Yeah.
And the prices have really jumped on those.
I was just
in the $70 range.
I was just looking at that.
$90 now. Yeah.
So
you can't get them.
One of my coworkers today was like, "Hey man, I know you're into outdoorsy stuff. I'm looking at a knife. What should I get?" And I was like, "Oh, Spyderco Delica. That is like the best go-to first knife." When I bought mine in 2013, it was like I looked at the Amazon thing today. It was $57 on Amazon. And I looked today, they're like 80 something bucks now. It's crazy.
Why? What's going on with knives? Why are we getting price jumps like that?
I don't know where the steel comes from. I'm not sure about the origins of VG10 or maybe it's just the jump in steel prices in general. But I've noticed that over the past few years, Leatherman products, for instance, you used to be able to get a wave for around $55. Now it's like $100 or something.
Wow!
And prices have just jumped.
Is this because of like the trade war or something like that over steel?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible, but steel prices have definitely gone up.
Oh, we need to talk to some of these companies. All right, let's get some more knives here.
Sure.
So since the last time you saw me, hold on, I know where I got the other one. Since the last time you saw me, wait a second, you're gonna enjoy this. Boom.
Ooh, dude.
A dude went pro.
Nice.
Check that out.
Oh, those are great. I like that. Is that the Hellhound? Is that the Hellhound blade shape on that one?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I'll answer that for you.
Okay, yeah. One is Tonto. Let me see which one is. This is kind of. Is this
the
Hellhound?
That's the Hellhound.
Yeah, this is the Hellhound.
Yeah, that's like $100 more than they're usually.
Yeah, and then that's the Tonto.
And then the Tanto, yeah.
Yeah. We base and obviously these are Microtechs, which are kind of expensive, but we traded these.
Yep.
You could trade stuff for Microtechs. Like What was that? What? I don't know. Babyface did some deals.
I traded off one of my triggers and some ammo for one for Lola. Does she still have that one?
No. I have it now.
So your camera's not working for me, so I can't see.
Oh,
let me drop and come back in. Give me 1 second.
Lola thinks that this is too big for her to carry every day, so she doesn't want to carry it every day. And then this one would be mine. So now I carry both of them because whatevs. I'm not letting them. And while we're waiting for Babyface, check it out.
Now I can see.
What is the name of that place in Vegas, Shane, where you can go and get these PVK, right? So I went to PVK. I went to PVK Vegas, and I got this one. Let me see if I can do a close up here. It actually has the Hank Strange logo up in it. If we can get it to focus on this. I don't know. There you go. If you can actually see this. So anyway, it's got the Hank Strange logo.
Is that etched?
Yeah, it's laser etched.
Laser engraved.
Oh,
laser engraved.
That's cool.
And so this one I carry a lot, but I won't give it to Lola because no way. Even though it's a little, she's gonna have to get her own.
Is that one also an Ultratech, or is that a UTX 85?
This is a UTX 85. This one.
I was just about to say the 85 is the way to go.
Yeah,
like it is the perfect size for EDC.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, Lola wants the one, so she doesn't like this side trigger.
She wants the Durac.
Yeah, there's one that the trigger is more up there, I guess.
The new one is the Durac, which has the trigger on the top.
Yeah, so...
that's a bit more expensive, isn't it? I can't remember the pricing, but I think they're a bit more expensive.
They're coming in at like $300, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the Ultratechs aren't too far from that nowadays.
Yeah.
They've also jumped in price a bit.
Yeah. So. You've got some Microtechs, I'm taking it.
Me, I've got 1, 2, 3 right now, I think. I had 4 and I sold 1. Mm-hmm. But I believe I still have the 3. I'm not anywhere near my Ultratechs right now. But I've got the you look it up. Do you have a way to look it up and then just put it on screen?
Yeah.
Look it up. The what is it called? The Ultratech Bounty Hunter. Look up the Ultratech Bounty Hunter.
Those are cool.
I have one of those.
The whole Star Wars line was really cool.
Oh,
the ones for John Wick were awesome. Oh, wait a second. This is pretty.
Have you seen the Star Wars one?
Oh, wow.
They had a
the Boba Fett. The Boba Fett.
They had a Boba Fett, a Jedi Knight, a Sith Lord, and I think a white one.
This is a Blade HQ. Oh, this is your video actually. This looks like a Boy Scout video.
Probably.
That's how he.
One of the first videos there were on those.
Oh, that's cool. I like this Boba Fett you're showing off here.
Really sharp knife.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Boba Fett right now.
You've got it on screen?
Yeah, I've got the knife up there right now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, man, that thing is cool. And now, so they did a second run of it where it's kind of like not limited anymore. But originally it was a very limited run. I don't remember how many pieces they made, but I got number 43, I think.
Oh, cool.
So
of the first run.
Of the first run.
That's
so
cool.
I got in on it really early and got one of the first ones they made.
Oh wow!
But,
okay.
That thing blew me away. Still blows me away. I keep it kind of on display. I don't really carry it.
Hunter Biden's crack pipe says.
One of my favorites.
Hunter Biden's crack pipe says a lady at a gun show had the Sith Lord, the Stormtrooper, the Jedi, and the full serrated Tonto Bounty Hunter.
They're really cool.
Wow.
Yeah. How much do those cost? What do they?
They were a bit more than your average Ultratechs, a little bit more than average, but they were not as much as like the Hellhound that you showed.
Yeah.
It was mainly just the sort of the custom paint job that they did.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And some of it distressing as well, because that bounty hunter, they tried to distress it to make it feel like the Boba Fett outfit, which was all very used and distressed. Mm-hmm. And so they tried to sort of bring that to it. But I think that kind of inspired them down the road, because I've seen many, many more Microtechs that come distressed, pre-distressed.
And they look cool.
And they look really cool.
Yeah. They have a new series of distressed knives that look really, really cool. Let's see if I can show this off. I don't have any problem distressing my own UTX 85. It's plenty distressed already.
Yeah.
All the edges are worn. But it's the great knife. Never had a problem with it.
Yeah. What I like about them is that Microtech stands behind their knives. So Even I believe this one that we originally got for Lola, this came in pretty bad shape, and we sent it to them, and they cleaned it up and tightened up everything and sent it back. Yeah, sharpened it, sent it back to us. I respect that. I know they're a little bit more expensive and all that, but I think it's worth it. Like, these are things you can hold on to, trade, sell, like you were saying. They continue to have value. Okay, so Topps Knives. I've got another one. I don't know if Babyface does or doesn't.
It's downstairs.
Topps Knives. The Millspy is something I also. Topps Knives makes good knives, man. They make a lot of stuff for like law enforcement and all that kind of stuff. I think they make really good knives, and this is the Millspy that I have. I carry this a lot.
Nice.
Just out of the knives. I'm just showing off knives to you. I don't know. We could probably keep.
I mean, I could go to the drawer and pull out some others.
I say
let's see let's see your knives, man.
I love looking at knives.
People could see our knives any day.
Heavy box, and it might rip on the way out because it's so full. Can I just tell you guys real quick? This is the box. Okay. This is my.
Look at that.
Look, it's cardboard. I cut off the flaps. It's just a crappy old box. That's what it is. Okay. And I also have what do you call it? The Spyderco. I have some of those, the big folding sheath things that you put all your knives in, and those are really cool too. But for the most part, I keep all my knives
in a box,
semi-expensive, not very expensive, in a cardboard box. And I've got like 4 leaks in here, I think.
Oh, those leaks are fantastic starter.
3
Well,
leaks?
is that the name? Is that the brand name?
It's a Kershaw leak.
Kershaw.
Kershaw
leak.
What a good first knife to get.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
They're
really not horribly expensive. You can get them for like $30, $35, $40. They have a really cool. Is that what Warrenclaw? Is it what that's called? The drop point?
I think you call this one a Warrenclyffe.
Yeah, Warrenclyffe. That's what it is, and they are awesome.
Yeah. And USA made with really nice steel too. Affordable steel, but really nice steel. What else is in here?
Smash those thumbs ups for the knives right now, people. Go ahead.
This is sort of like Kershaw's, in my opinion, their follow-up to the leak, and this is the, oh shoot, have I really forgotten the name of it? It's model 1812, whatever that is. But this is in M390, and it's one of the, it's very slim, very nice looking, and in my opinion, it kind of, compares to the leak very, very well as far as the size. Dividend, thank you. It was at the tip of my tongue. As far as the size, as far as the thickness, it's really comparable to the leak, and so I really like the Dividend. Particularly this M390 one is very, very nice. Gosh, dudes.
Pull out something. We got like 3 minutes here. Let's see pull out some awesomeness.
Should I show a Benchmade, or is that...
No, it's fine. You can show a Benchmade. We won't hold it against you.
This is still one of the ones I really like. This is the 943. It's a version of the 940. But you can see that it's got this big, long clip point blade instead of the...
Yeah, I like the sleek stealthiness of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All blacked out. Very cool. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite Benchmades, and still is. Always was, still is. But...
Right.
I don't know. Oh, and this is my Delica.
That is cool.
I gave my other Delica to my son, so he has that as one of his nicer pocket knives. But this is with the Zome scale pattern on it. They do this. They've got I guess it's a type of a craft that is done by their Japanese makers, and these craftsmen go in and they kind of either they dye or they actually drop in little bits of plastic. I'm not super sure about how the process works, but they create this all by hand. So every single one is different. So if I bought 5 of this exact knife, they would all look different.
That's cool.
To me, I really like that fact. This one is in S30V. You could only get it in S30V for a little while. You can't find it in S30V anymore. I don't think you can find the color anymore either. But this one right now, this one I bought for the price that a standard Delica is going for right now. That's how much this cost at that time. So
yeah,
it's kind of
premium.
crazy that it's kind of crazy that I got the premium one and now the standard ones go for the same price.
Yeah. Let me get a question in here. Someone has a question for you while you're looking that up. Night Train says, can you please ask the late Boy Scout his thoughts on the CRKT Provoke Karambit?
I think I know which one that is. That's the one that you sort of like, you squeeze it or push it in a certain way, and then the blade sort of comes out and it sort of like falls back into. It's a very strange knife. Provoke Karambit. Hang on a second.
That is a weird looking thing.
Yeah, I believe that's the one.
Karambit. Hold on, let me see.
It's with a K. Karambit.
Yeah, let me try to look that up. Provoke Karambit.
It's a very strange but very cool approach to creating a knife, period. But then turning this into a karambit, that's really cool. It's not cheap. It's D2 steel. I think I don't remember where it's produced. It might be Chinese produced. I don't remember. But it is very, very cool. Very cool design. Yeah, I mean, if you're into karambits, that's a great one to get.
Provoke Karambit. Let me see if I can get a picture of it up here for the people before we get out of here. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah,
it should be in like a movie or something because it's folding.
Yeah, it looks a lot like it looks like some kind of dinosaur claw. Kind of a deal, but mechanical.
Yeah. That deserves to be in the next John Wick movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't fold so much as it just sort of like emanates from the handle. It's weird sort of gear shifting motion of pieces of the handle, and the blade just kind of comes out of it. It's strange, but it's really cool. I think I have a SHOT Show video where I visited CRKT and they showed this knife, and the guy cut himself on it.
So, oh, really? While you were doing it?
He cut himself on it while we were looking at it.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It seems like that kind of knife. You definitely need a practice.
There's a
practice model.
I just pulled this up. There's a video of Doug Marcaida showing how to do knife fighting with a karambit knife.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty cool.
That knife that Doug Marcaida designed was the one I lost. And it's a karambit like really? That. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one he gave me one. And I lost it. Yeah. So, yeah, very upset about that. One quick thing, Walter was talking about, I think, a cold steel, one of the throwing axes or something like that. If we go back here somewhere, and he was saying that the handle broke on it on the second throw or something. Do you know anything about the cold steel? Oh yeah, here it is. Cold steel Spetsnaz shovel, supposed to be a throwing shovel. Yeah. Handle broke on second throw. Contacted them, no reply.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks bad, man. So here's the thing with those handles. I think they consider them to be consumables. And you can break the handles. I mean, I think they're hickory, but they can break. And so if you break that on a throw or on some other thing, I think they would probably consider that, hey, look, dude, just buy a new handle. That's probably what Cold Steel would say to you.
Oh, can you just get a polymer handle?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're going to be practicing, you'll be breaking those. Yeah.
Yeah, you might break that too.
Yeah.
But I believe the handles. So I think you can get the handle either for the small Spetsnaz shovel or for the big trench shovel. And and I'm pretty sure they're interchangeable as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay. You know what's crazy? We burned 2 hours without even thinking about it.
It went by really fast.
And I have like a list of stuff that I brought to talk about. We haven't touched on it.
You know what?
Which is fine. I had fun.
Yeah, we need to get you back here again. Because it's always fun talking to you. I know we bounce around. We talk about a lot of different things, but it's always cool catching up to you. Seems like the people here appreciate that. Let's do this. Let's go around. Let's figure out from how the folks out there can support everyone. I want to start with Babyface. Patrick, how can the people support you? What have you been up
YouTube.com.
to?
youtube.com/babyfaceP. Every Monday, something new comes out. Don't know what it is until it shows up on Monday morning. But there you go.
Okay, because you are editing it, what, Sunday night or something?
Sunday night sometimes.
Right up to the last minute.
I hear that.
Pretty much.
Perhaps they're like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, very cool. Babyface P, that's where you need to go. All right, Shane, Late Boy Scout, how can the people out there support you?
Well, again, follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/The Late Boy Scout. New videos come out whenever. I don't really stick to a day anymore, but they come out when they come out. And facebook.com/The Late Boy Scout. Great place to find good deals on firearms, gear, ammo, knives, worthwhile things that people like us will be interested in. And if you're interested in some of the t-shirts, check out my Teespring shop as well. You find the links underneath my videos and some of my original designs and some other things like that. So, yeah. Yeah. I know we didn't get into as many things as you guys wanted to. Hopefully we'll get him back here soon and we'll talk about stuff. But in the meanwhile, don't forget, if you go support him on Teespring or Facebook, and, I'm going to send him 10 of these, like 5 of each of these patches, and he's going to give it away to you guys. So go support the Late Boy Scout. I would really appreciate it. And, of course, support Babyface P. Just to make sure that I have a place to sharpen my knives, because
yeah,
that's important. So, we got to keep that going here. I want to thank everyone. Don't forget about the Olight sale that starts at midnight. Okay, don't forget about going to hankstrange.com, signing up for the email list. Of course, thanks to Harry's Holsters for sponsoring us. Let me drop the end here if I press the right button. No, that's not the right button. Boom. All right. Go subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. We're going to rip out the audio of this and throw it up on iTunes and all the other places that you get this stuff. I know there's a bunch of stuff we didn't talk about. For everyone who wanted to talk about the Twitter thing with Trump, there is a video that I think is either on or it will be on soon where we were talking about this, so you guys could, get into that. Shane, Babyface, any last words here before I press the button? I'm just really thankful to be on, dude. Thank you for having me. It's always fun to chat with you guys. Absolutely, man. I could do this for like 6 hours, but I'll spare you. I'll spare you this time. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't have any idea. Oh, I think we have Kevin Dixie and some other people on tomorrow, so it should be spicy tomorrow. It's going to be. I hope you're ready for that. We're out of here. Peace. See ya. Take care.